one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
We get this story from KTLA 5 Los Angeles. The family of a man who stabbed a Southern California deputy with a screwdriver before being shot and killed while he ran away was awarded $13.1 million by a jury in a lawsuit. The incident unfolded August 7th, 2020, when Jeffrey Alexander Monroy was walking near Tamarisk Lane in Rancho Mirage, and that's northwest of Palm Springs. According to the attorneys representing Monroy's family, the 33-year-old who worked for his father's pool service was looking for a phone to call his brother for a ride home. Attorneys said that residents of the affluent neighborhood called police to report a suspicious person. There's that see something, say something. Subsequently, a Riverside County Sheriff's Department deputy identified as Corporal Ruben Perez was dispatched and arrived at the same time as Monroy's brother. It was at this point Monroy's family legal counsel says that Perez and Monroy got into an altercation and began scuffling as the latter apparently was suffering a mental breakdown because the deputy didn't know how to de-escalate. During the altercation, Monroy stabbed Perez multiple times with a screwdriver. Monroy's brother tried to defuse the situation and drag Jeffrey 20 feet away from the confrontation, said lawyers. But that was when Perez opened fire, and suddenly and without warning or verbal command. Of the 9 shots the deputy fired, 5 of them struck the resident of Cathedral City, as he ran away, attorney said. 3 in the back and 2 in the side. In the wake of the shooting, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco revealed that the deputy's body-worn camera had become deactivated during the incident and only captured a few seconds of what happened. Which is another reason why I'm out there recording police interactions, because that seems to be a common issue. Their body cameras are deactivated, oops, or never turned on. My camera, when I'm recording the police, is neither deactivated nor turned off until that interaction is complete. So the extremely limited body cam footage was released on September 21st, 2020, alongside Bianco's description of the incident. We should believe you, right? In the video, Bianco stated that despite the deactivation of the camera, the deputy retreated and used his hands to shield himself. Several witness statements described how the deputy retreated backwards, using his hands to cover and shield his face and head while being stabbed by Mr. Monroy. That's according to the sheriff. The sheriff went on. At one point, a second man intervened and pulled Mr. Monroy away from the deputy. The suspect was able to break free and again advanced towards the deputy. And at that point, a deputy-involved shooting occurred. Attorneys for Monroy's family, however, argue that he shouldn't have been shot at in the first place, describing Jeffrey as a mentally ill pool worker who had not been a suspect in any crime. It should have been apparent to Deputy Perez that Monroy was suffering a mental health crisis, lawyers said. Monroy was about 20 feet away with his back turned when the deputy opened fire. The lawsuit filed in 2021 alleged unreasonable search and seizure, excessive force, deprivation of life without due process, wrongful death, assault and battery, and negligence. And according to Monroy's family's legal team, lawyers for Bianco, Perez, and Riverside County fought the case aggressively for nearly half a decade. Bianco created a culture of impunity within the sheriff's department that encouraged violence and constitutional violations, creating a public menace of major proportions. That's the lawyers that argued. As part of the settlement, the jury assigned 70% of the fault for the shooting to the corporal and 30% to Monroy. The $13.1 million received by Monroy's parents, which according to lawyers includes a $9 million in wrongful death damages, $4 million for loss of life, and $100,000 for pre-death pain and suffering. The largest ever excessive force verdict against Riverside County. And again, Sheriff Bianco says, well, the camera became deactivated. And then he goes on to give a narrative, which we're supposed to just accept his word for it. You know, I'm sorry for being a cynic, but I only trust what happens on video when it comes to law enforcement officers' narratives. Okay, and if you think I'm wrong about this, you're wrong. Well, the family got $13 million, 13.1 million, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. They awarded them the 13 million. So obviously the jury found fault with this deputy. Obviously. But I mean, look at the facts here. All the guy was doing was walking to call his brother for a ride. There's somebody in our neighborhood. He don't look very rich. What's he doing here? He looks like a homeless person. Look at his clothes. You know, or whatever they said. They said it was an affluent neighborhood. Rancho Mirage does have a lot of affluent people. Affluent meaning rich. Can I have another tata? You know what? See something, say something, baby. Yeah. Sheriff Dykus just said that, and Sheriff Luna backed him on. Yeah, see something, say something, people. If you see something, you pick up that phone. Yeah. And people end up dead or put down on face down at gunpoint. Like the story I did of the guy on the East Coast, remember? Running late for college and he was checking his car battery. And some lady across the street called and said there's a black man stealing a car. Well, it was his car and he was running late for school, but he ended up face down at gunpoint because cops thought he was stealing a car. Why? Because somebody saw something and said something. So many stories like that. See something, say something. Andre Hill. There's somebody in our neighbor's garage. He looks like a black man. And Adam Coy comes out. Andre walks out of the garage. It's wintertime in Columbus, Ohio. And he walks out with his cell phone like, hey, what's going on, officer? Bang, bang. He had a gun. It's a cell phone. Adam Coy was charged and convicted. The cop. Again, another see something, say something. Andre Hill ends up dead. Why? Because he's waiting for the people to come home to let him in the house as a house guest. See something, I see something, I'm going to say something, and he ends up dead. And then here's this guy just trying to call for his brother to come get him, and he's in our neighborhood. I'm saying something. He ends up dead. And people say, well, he stabbed the cop, and he did this, and he did that. I have a distinct feeling. Remember, people say, well, he had a mental health breakdown. Even people who are mentally ill don't just have breakdowns. You say, yeah, they do. Nah, they really don't just have breakdowns. Something happened to trigger this guy. Deputy didn't know how to de-escalate. And again, this is all, I'm hypothetical here at this point. But I mean, what do you do? Grab him? Come here. Because when people are mentally ill and you grab them, they go, you go, okay, all right, no touch. No touch, no touch. What, the deputy just grab him and you come over here with me and start fighting with him? I don't know. That's based on experience and education of people that are mentally ill. You don't touch. Okay, no touch. We'll talk. What's going on? I mean, something triggered this guy. He didn't just out of the blue see a guy with a badge and start stabbing him. Something triggered the guy. And you say, well, I don't know about that. You don't know. The family got $13.1 million. But that's where we're at today. And Sheriff Bianco, we're supposed to believe you after one of your deputies shoved his way into the home because when he knocked on the door, he said, I'm coming in. The teenage boy said, no, you're not. Mom comes running down to her house door and the deputy shoves his way in. Still a deputy with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, never been charged with home invasion, Sheriff Bianco. But we're supposed to believe you? Well, I'm running for governor because, well, yeah, because that's what you are, a dirty politician. Yeah, I'm upset. Why am I upset? Because this is happening time and time and time and time and time again. And these sheriffs and these police chiefs continue to justify it. They continue to turn their head up. They continue to say, hey, see something, say something. It worked. Yeah, it worked to get an innocent guy killed. All he was doing was walking down the street. Again, and the jury put 70% of the blame on the deputy. That's over half the blame. They only put 30% blame on the other guy because he did what he did. 70% of the blame was on the deputy. He did something wrong. According to a jury, you cops, you police chiefs, you sheriffs, you always say, well, the jury did it. Yeah, the jury said 70% of the blame goes on the deputy. He was wrong. We're awarding the family $13.1 million. That's what we say. The jury said it, right? The jury's out. The verdict is in. The cop was wrong. Apparently, I want to know what you all think. Let me know. Sorry this was so lengthy, but it had to be said. Had to be said.